Hello, welcome to the Well. Maria Milano from Bloom A Life You Love, Integral Bloom with Angela Marie from Grounded Dreamers. All right, we're going to move into our March soul reading for the month. Super excited. We just did this in our group and it's really wonderful coming through with I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Let's take a moment to take a deep breath. Just feel your breath oxygenating all your cells. And just get present, noticing what's in your listening, what's in your thoughts, and take another breath in, deep, deep, oxygenating your cells. And as you exhale, I invite you to release, just give up and release whatever's in your listening, interpretations, anything from last month that you might, or beyond that you're holding on to, and just clear and open up to the creativity that comes through the reading.
Mm.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, ready for that. Okay, so we start out this month with the concept or the energy of routine. So this is an opportunity to focus. This author talks about how the crows have their routine. They come to roost, at the same time every evening. They do their whatever. She watches their routine, and it's without fail. They're in the same pattern every day. For us in our own lives, our routines provide stability. And that's a nice thing. It gives us security, it gives us a base, right? In most cases, it gives you a foundation for success, right? Because there's a steady base energy. But we have to also pay attention to when that routine becomes stagnation and that we're just in it. Are we really doing these routines as a foundation for our success, or are we doing it because we really don't know what else to do? And that keeps us feeling secure, right? We don't want to take a risk. We don't. So this is an opportunity to find in our life where we have maybe a little stagnation, a little bit of blocks, and find ways to open that up because you know, taking risks is a good thing sometimes, right? And shifting
Absolutely.
the way we mixing it up the way we do. The card right after the routine, remember we talked about stagnation, and I don't know what else to do, is this
Mhm.
postponement energy. This is, oh boy, I'm just gonna stay here. There's a vision I have there off beyond in the distance of a bright, colorful existence, but it's not where I am right now, and I'm just
Mhm.
going to stay put, right? There's a longing for being there, but in
Mhm.
order to be there, we got to make a shift and cut the path to get there, right? So it's really balancing, how much routine do we need to keep us stable, and then where can we mix it up, right? And then I got this one called Weavers. This is from my Dream Weavers deck. Weavers share their magic tea. And this talks about inspiration, like divine inspiration, the energy of the universe, staying open and receptive to letting things flow to and through you. And,
Mhm.
um, like you could be doing a regular task, a regular routine, and then suddenly go, oh, I could do it like this, and that's a shortcut. Or, things are down and like I'm doom scrolling all the time, and then boom, here's a reason for hope because I scrolled upon something that, but then you break from that, old stagnation. And once you recognize, oh, there's something different, let that go, keep letting that flow in because
Mhm.
we as creatures of habit, we don't always allow ourselves to really receive flow and receive that inspired, energy from the universe. So this
Mhm.
is an opportunity to pay attention to when those little sparks come and go with that. Don't pull back in and go, oh, but that's too risky. Go with it, Nothing's going
Mhm.
to harm you, even, in your imagination. Nothing's going to harm you. So let that stuff flow.
Mhm.
And then from that flow and allowing, I pulled create. Now here we
Mhm.
get into the meat of it, right? This is the spider
Exciting.
web. And it's taking those imaginative ideas and that flow and really crafting it into something that shows up in our world, like our art, our music, our new project that we're doing, a new level of intimacy in our relationships, new ways to communicate. This is all coming from your creative space, right? It's breaking up the status quo and moving towards something new. Whoops, spider.
Mm.
And the shadow side of the spider, though, is that those webs that we weave and all those creative ideas could end up being blocks because we got to clear the cobwebs sometimes, right? Even out of
Mhm.
our minds, out of our system, out of our physical body, in order to reenact or reignite that flow.
Mhm.
So there's a balance there too. Just like with the routine and the risk, there's a balance here too with, creating and crafting, but also keeping our space open to keep creating more. So this is all inner work and it pays off, right? If we continue with it, if we follow through.
Mhm.
So, which brings us to the next one, and I got fire. Now, fire we know is a transformative energy. This here says creativity and strength. There's
Mhm.
power behind, burning it all down like fire does, and then creating something from the rubble,
Mhm.
clearing the cobwebs, and then letting ourselves continue and create a new reality. This is
Mhm.
just asking us to channel our strength wisely, right? That power that we have in the transformative energy of fire, but
Mhm.
shift it and channel it wisely. And it is definitely time for a risk in March. It's time for us. If there's something you've been thinking, I want to try, I think I want to try. Yes, the answer is yes, every time,
Mhm.
right? Take
Mhm.
that risk and
Mhm.
channel your vibration. And it really makes sense with the next card because I pulled focus. So
Mhm.
channel your energy and then sharpen your focus toward only what you want. Don't we know the law of attraction says, if you mention what you don't want, you'll get it. If you mention only what you want, you'll get it, right? So I want to create this new project, but I don't have the right tools. I'm not, ready for it. The timeline's not, all those things that come after the but need to be done away with. It's
Mhm.
simply, I'm going to create this new project. And even
Mhm.
if it feels far down the path, I'm going to create it. I'm going to create it. Every step, every moment of energy you put toward it is creating that flow to get there. So it's really important is this focus. And it's been, there's a lot of question going on in the universe right now. We're in a transformative time and we may not know it, but we are on the heels of a new era for humanity. We've passed through to the divine feminine a couple years back. We've got Pluto in Aquarius. We've got energies that support transformation. We're just in the middle of the doing away with the old
Yeah.
to get there. And so
Yeah, and I just got something that with all that chaos, that focus is more important than ever because it's the universe responds to that focus, right? The quantum field, that focus with all this chaotic energy, focus is more important than ever.
for our own, exactly, for you, and when you're doing it and they're doing
Mhm.
it and she's doing it, that is what's creating that it's an alchemy to move us forward.
Yeah, and it
You're
has an
so right.
organizing effect. Like when we
Yeah.
focus, it has an organizing effect. So if we're focusing on all the chaos and all the war and trauma and all of that is there, it's not that we're saying deny it or ignore it, but what we focus on, it coalesces, it creates.
Great. And we've been saying for a while, inner being, right? Tuck in, find your own guide. That's what this is. And now you're taking, we've not to, like you said, not to shield and hunker and ignore, like hide
Put your head
away.
in
We
the
have to stay
sand.
aware, but
Hmm.
we have the power. That's what we're forgetting, right? We have the power. And if we start to transform our own life, the next person next to us is inspired and they start focusing. It's so true that focus is so important more than ever in the chaos, more than ever. And if you're wondering if that chaos is going to catch up to us and, taking that risk is going to really make us fall flat, then know that we are always, always protected. The divine is always there for us. And if we look back on our life and to times where we had risk or we had challenge and it was scary, we're here now. We
Hmm.
we made it past that and we're here. So know that you're always held, you're always in, um, you know, in focus with the divine, or the divine has its focus on you. And I did like to say in the group how I say the divine, sometimes I say source, sometimes I say God, energy. It's all the same, really. It's that same flow of energy that we all have access to at all times. So it's really just remembering that. Now, you don't have to create it. You don't have to, seek it. It's always there. And, we can always receive that energy of protection. And then in this spread, the last card is success. I love this because
Mm.
that is,
Celebrate.
it's celebrated. Even if it's just that, oh, I was stagnant and now I changed one thing, just one little
Mm.
thing, and now I'm feeling a little more flow. That is success, right?
Hmm.
It may not be the entire project got completed or the entire, musical composition got developed, but it's the little shift to make something feel different is success.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so let's pause in the middle of the reading before we move to the completion part of it and just allow everyone to take in the themes, the richness, the creativity. So just let it land in your system and start to notice what intention is forming, what would move your life forward this month, inspired by this reading. So we'll just pause for a moment to be with that. Plant those seeds, and then we'll move on to the completion of the reading. The reason we pause is because these readings are super powerful. They're super powerful. They're deep. They're deeply, intuitively inspired. And it's helpful to just focus on what we've gotten so far, like midway, so we can keep staying present and aligned and open to the rest of the reading.
Yeah, because it is a lot. And that's kind of why we
Hmm.
break it into two parts.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
exactly.
cement the first part, cement it in your energy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let it land, be with it.
Perfect. Okay, so our next half of the reading opens up with if the river flows this way. And this is just simply flow state. This is the art of allowing. This is letting that we talked about being open and receptive to the divine, to the inspirations, to new ideas,
Hmm.
things we can change up. It's really like taking that little spark of change or inspiration and milking it and keep going in that direction instead of that thing that we do as humans and pull back the reins, oh, new idea, but I can't. I don't know how, right? Let's just skip that but part and move it and let even if the flow is trickling, right? It will eventually move you forward. So being able to, we're in really highly creative times right now. And like Maria said before, from that chaos comes the new desires and the new focus and the new creations because, you can only be in that chaos so long. We take charge of our own path. And one way to do that, so it's like, well, how do we get into that flow state? I don't know. And the way these cards came out, they just were like a template to teach us a couple ideas of how to create it. And
Hmm.
the first one I got is perspective. And this
Hmm.
little crow, he decided, I'm going to hang upside down today and see what life looks like in this direction, right? And, just that one moment of shifting the way you see things, it could
Hmm.
be that you pull back your focus, see a bigger
Hmm.
picture. It could
Hmm.
be that you sharpen it more.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Put yourself in someone else's shoes and see it from there. It's really just making a shift in your perspective that can
Hmm.
help because that new idea, that new way is divine flow, right?
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
what sparks it. So perspective, and then I got believe. And this is the story of the jackalope, that mythical creature that maybe no one really knows whether it exists, but most myths are rooted in some sort of fact. And in reading about this, there's some strange, rare condition that a rabbit, I don't know what it's called, but it could form little horns, little hard nodules. And so now, in mythology, it became, oh, they're going to become a jackalope. But this is also an energy of unique perspective. And then it's believing in it. It's believing in it, right? Believe in yourself. It's a powerful time for creation. And even that little idea, if it feels good, believe in it. Believe in yourself. And
Mm,
turn that belief into knowing, which is our next card, which I love. I
mhm,
love how these laid out because
mm,
it does come in steps. We don't just
mhm,
say, "Oh, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to create something." I know. I know it's
mhm,
there. I know. No, we have to take steps to get to that knowing sometimes.
mhm,
And there is a point where we can sort of rest without worry. This figure, the figure of Siddhartha here, is obscured by clouds. Maybe we can't see how we're going to get there. But if you know you will, the clouds will eventually clear and dissipate.
mhm,
Then you have your clear path. So it's really anchoring that belief in within yourself and letting it form into a knowing. It's so powerful for us. And again, like Maria said, it's all within us. Like the chaos and stuff is there, but we also, it's inner work, all of this. So, when those clouds clear, now we have a new vision. Now we can see it. Now we
mhm,
can open up to
mhm,
receive everything pertaining to that
mhm,
and totally shift our direction if we want, because that's what we know now. That's where we're headed.
mhm,
And then along the way, this guidance card came, and this is your inner knowing, your inner guidance, your inner being at work, like we just stated.
mhm,
And the most powerful energy you could have is that connection to yourself, because that is source, that is the divine, that is all you need, really. It's all here.
mhm,
I'm not going to go too far, but I was having a conversation with my kids yesterday about organized religion and how it does, give people comfort in a way, but it also takes your power from within and puts it on another energy. Instead of, like I like to say, there is a divine energy, but we co-create with it. It's not just I put it all on you. We got to step up in our own lives and in our own paths to forge ahead and make that dream a reality. So it's a combination of all those energies. And then I love this card. It popped up, of course, given the nature of it, it popped up out of nowhere and it's a surprise. It surprised
surprise.
me when I saw it. And it's really to release the expectations and be open to surprise because it's
Mhm,
right there. It's right there. That thing you envision and create, and you're becoming to believe in it and know you can get there. It's right there. And
mhm,
when the energies are all lined up in the right way, it shows up. So
mhm,
I love, and it may show up in a little bit different way than you envisioned, right?
mhm,
But
mhm,
maybe better, or maybe a shortcut, or it involves more people and it becomes even more fulfilling. Whatever. There's so
mhm,
much to be discovered if we stay on our own path. And then we can close this up with, after all that inner work and creativity and, trusting and knowing, I pulled honey, which represents sweetness and joy. And I love it because we know the bees are productive and they represent work and
just
teamwork
buzzing
and
around. Mhm.
community
And
and
they have a
they
queen.
they have a queen and they get to and then they you get to relish in that accomplishment, that feeling of joy once you're on your way to your goal.
Mhm. I love it.
Love
One
it.
thing I'm personally taking from this reading this month is embracing my inner weaver, my inner spider, my inner
Oh yeah,
dream weaver. Yeah, that's one thing I'm taking forth from this reading
love that.
today, this month.
Perfect.
And yeah, so wonderful. Well, I invite everyone to, just enjoy this reading, be with it, let it inform your life. Angela, you have your happy hour this month,
Wednesday
Wednesday.
nights,
Wednesday
yes.
night, first
Just
Wednesday evening of the month, Pacific
yeah,
time
yeah.
in
Every
California.
every first Wednesday. You could go to groundeddreamers.com and sign up
Yeah.
on the email list and you'll get notifications.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, and I'm offering a retreat as well this month, which you can find out about on integralbloom.com. Okay, beautiful. Have an amazing month.